And welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global TV AM News in our capital, Abuja. I am Jumai Manson. President Bola Tinubu will be launching the renewed Hope Police Town Hall meeting on Monday in Lagos in a bid towards strengthening community policing and for Nigerians to key into the renewed Hope Police agenda for his administration. Announcing this on Thursday in Abuja, Minister of State Police Affairs Imam Suleiman Ibrahim stated that she would be engaging stakeholders on Monday in Lagos. She added that the town hall meeting will be held not only in Lagos but across the country to afford Nigerians the opportunity to air their views on issues surrounding the security of lives and property in accordance with global best practices. President Bola Tinubu is set to commence work on the much-discussed Abuja-Lagos Superhighway as well as the Lagos-Port Harcourt Coastal Road. This is contained in the 2024 budget proposal currently being considered by the National Assembly. The sum of 500 million naira each was provided for the two-road project. A substantive number of new and ongoing road projects across the 6 geopolitical zones are also slated to receive the federal government's attention during the 2024 fiscal year. Ogun State government has announced 550 million naira reward for anybody who could provide information leading to the arrest of the killers of Taiwo Oyekemi, the former Director of Finance and Administration, attached to the Governor Dakpo Abiodun's office, Okemosun, Abeokuta. Oyekemi, age 51, was last Wednesday, October 29, killed by gunmen at the Koto flyover bridge, Abeokuta. The gunmen killed the Ifayotedo-born chartered accountant and made away with the huge cash. Governor Dakpo Abiodun, who said that the killing of the senior civil servant left his cabinet devastated and traumatized, promised not to leave any stone unturned until the killers are brought to justice. The Christian Association of Nigeria has condoled with the families of the victims of the accidental bombing in Tutumbiri in the Igabi local government of the association also called for the exercise of restraint from political and religious groups not to capitalize on the incident for personal gain. In a statement on Thursday signed by the CAN president, Bishop Daniel Oko, he commended the armed forces for their unwavering commitment in the fight against terror in Nigeria, while also calling for the equipment of the military with more accurate surveillance technologies. The federal government has directed the Comptroller General of the Nigerian Immigration Service, NIS, Caroline Wura-Ola, to pay urgent attention to the protection of the water borders. Specifically, it directed that more personnel should be deployed to the nation's border for the effective protection. The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, disclosed this during the declaration of the CG and 6 DCGs in Abuja. The minister also urged the newly decorated officers to prioritize the welfare of Nigerians in need of travel documents. The National Assembly, through its joint committee of the Senate and House of Representatives on Interior, has taken up the Ministry on Insurance of the expatriate quota, which it says it believed served as an avenue for stealing jobs from Nigerians in Nigeria by expatriates. Merit and dismerit of insurance of expatriate quota by the Interior Minister to deserving foreign companies came to the fore during the budget defense session. The Minister of the Ministry, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, had with the Joint Committee on Interior, Fauzia Lukman, has more.
Chairman of the Joint Committee, Senator Adams Oshomole of Edo North, told the minister that while it is heartwarming that the ministry surpassed its revenue targets on issuance of expatriate quotas, but the policy is giving room for expatriates to steal jobs meant for Nigerians in Nigeria.
The issue of expatriate quota, it is something that I'm personally worried about, given my own background. One of the serious problems we have in Nigeria today is the growing level of unemployed youth.
Earlier, the minister in his presentation to the Joint Committee in 2022 and outgoing fiscal 2023 The minister surpassed its budgetary revenue projections on expected quotas and marriage. He specifically submitted to the committee in 2023, while 600 million naira was targeted as revenue to be generated from issuance of expatriate quotas to deserving foreign firms in the country. 1.195 billion was generated as at October 31st, 2023.
2022, we had when the ministry came for budget defense, we had a target of 540 million naira for business expatriate quota and naturalization fees, but we were able to actualize 617,371,200 naira.
The minister assured the committee members that the ministry had already come up with projects for job protections for Nigerians. The project, according to him, is Expatriate Employee Network (EEN), primarily aimed to safeguard jobs meant for Nigerians from being stolen by expatriates and also prevent expatriate workers from evading tax payment in Nigeria. Fauziya Lukman, Global TV.
The Senate Committee on Appropriations and Solid Minerals have affirmed the need to increase budgetary allocations to the Solid Minerals Development Ministry. This is to enable the mining sector lead the way in diversifying the nation's economy. Kikelomo Okere has more details.
Addressing the Senate Committee on Solid Mineral during a budget defense session, the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alaki, told the lawmakers that a foundation has been laid for diversification of Nigerian economy. Having shifted global interest to Nigerian solid mineral, Alaki stressed that the next most crucial step is the generation of the necessary geoscience data. This, he noted, is essential to guide our investors in making an informed decision or on available mineral resources.
Today, international investors are on our necks, making inquiries as to which minerals they are interested in, that they want to pump in their foreign direct investment and all of that. Even a few days ago, I was at the Mines and Money Conference in London, which is an annual thing. During the conference, the U.S. Undersecretary of State came to me. We had a meeting, very useful meeting, expressing serious interest in our solid mineral sector, and said categorically that in the last couple of weeks, the attention riveted on that sector had generated their own interest.
Reacting, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Solid Minerals, Senator Ekong Samson, assured the Minister of the Senate's support in ensuring that solid mineral achieve its potential to become the next petroleum of the country.
So as a committee, we are going to work with your ministry so that we can diversify appropriately and increase revenue for the government. Because for governments to perform, it needs more revenue. And we've all agreed that one way we can ramp up revenue is to what we are doing today, to explore trajectories where we can broaden the flanks of our economy.
On his part, Senate Committee Chairman on Appropriation, Senator Olamilekan Yayi, corroborated the position of the Solid Mineral Committee that budgetary allocation should be scaled up to enable the ministry generate at least 50 billion naira revenue for 2024, as against proposed 12 billion naira.
Because there is need for us to truly diversify this economy, especially along the line of these solid mineral resources. A lot of illegal miners across the length and breadth of this country, taking what belongs to all of us and putting it in the pocket of some individuals. We have gotten enough information that some people will just take helicopters from Chinese straight monitoring or knowing the whereabouts.
Kikelomo Okere, Global Television News.
The Chief Medical Director, Federal Medical Center, has an appeal for larger workforce and special medical equipment to improve the quality of healthcare delivery in Nigeria. The CMB stated this when members of the Senate Committee on Health paid an oversight visit to the medical facility in Abuja.
Ikalibo Banigo promised to ensure better facilities are provided.
Possible for you not only to train the numbers that you have been training so far, but anticipating a larger number because of the paucity of health workers we have, residents across the country. We're training them not just for Abuja, we're training them all over Nigeria. So we want you to do our best and do the best we can on our side to see that you get these equipment you need. You need to be equipped. The hallmark of a good medical center, a teaching center for residents is the quality of medical equipment. That equipment has the hallmark.
Member of the Senate Committee, Senator Kaila Dahua Samaila, showed concern over the low amount being budgeted for the medical facility.
Is a necessity in this type of environment. So I am pleading with my colleagues to really take this as a special case. Even if we cannot provide for everywhere, at least this particular hospital needs some of these things. So your capital is very, very low. Last year your capital was very low. This year, I understand it's just a little over $1 billion. That's not just to not even buy one machine. All of it will not buy one good machine like this.
Speaking to journalists, Professor Saad Ahmed shed light on measures being taken by the National Assembly, Federal Ministry of Health, and the Office of the Health Service towards improving the quality of medical workforce.
Oversight function of the National Assembly to see what we do and also see what challenges we are facing in order so that they can interface and solve some of those issues. The only thing is we need to expand in order to, give more service. To manpower issue is something that is global, but the Federal Ministry of Health, the National Assembly, and also the Office of the Head of Service of the Federation, we are trying to see how this can be made seamless so that even if others go, we'll be able to replace in no time.
With the oversight function visit of the Senate, it is expected that the quality of medical facility will improve in Nigeria. Fauziya Lukman, Global TV News.
The Nigerian Armed Forces have accepted full responsibility of the mishap that occurred in Kaduna as a result of a drone strike. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, noted while addressing journalists in Abuja that the military stands with all those grieving as a result of the drone strike and expressed their heartfelt condolences as a force over the losses. Kikelomo Okere has more details.
A minute silence was observed in honor of the victim of Kaduna drone strike. The Director of Defense Media Operations says the military remained focused to its core mission of creating a safe and secure environment for citizens by total destruction of threats perpetrating insecurity in the country, adding that the ongoing operations are integral to the plan of focusing military pressure on the terrorists, insurgents and extremists in order to dismantle and destroy them or force them to submission.
Stands with all those grieving as a result of the drone strike, as well as express our heartfelt condolences as a force over the losses. We pray for eternal peace for their souls. There will be need for processes to be improved upon, and this, I assure you, we will put in place to ensure that in future we have near to zero occurrences.
Reading out the operations of the military in the last 1 week, the director says the operation of the week in focus resulted in 80 neutralized terrorists, while 304 of them were arrested.
Troops covered 112 assorted weapons, over 898 assorted ammunition, the breakdown of which is as follows. We recovered 2 general purpose machine gun, 1 HK-21 rifle, 14 AK-47 rifles, 8 pump action guns, 4 locally fabricated rifles, 8 locally made pistols, over 239 rounds of 7.62mm NATO, and 431 rounds of 7.62mm special ammunition, among others.
In the south-south zone of the country, troops denied insurgents of oil theft and arrested 152 perpetrators of oil theft and rescued 44 kidnapped hostages.
In the south-south, troops denied the oil theft of an estimated sum of over 345 million naira. Furthermore, troops arrested suspected criminals and cultists in Ubrubra and Udupani local government areas in Cross River State and Warri South local government areas of Delta State, respectively.
The military high command expressed concern over the issue of civilian casualty in operations, saying the military is determined to deal with the situation properly and make improvements from the experience. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
The dilemma of Persid being used by the farmers as a means to control weed and for food preservatives leading to health challenges and death has been a major concern for stakeholders in the health sector. Stakeholders in the health sector raised concern over the negative effects of the harmful pesticide usage and also putting together a dossier on registered and unregistered pesticides in the Nigerian market, easing consumers and investors of unharmful purchases. Sharon Ade completes the story.
The dangers posed by pesticides are of immense concern to the stakeholders in the health sector, saying it is harmful to human health and animals. While expressing worries over the dangers posed by pesticides imported into the country, the stakeholder emphasized on the legal initiative that holds corporations accountable for the well-being and health of farmers and factory workers.
Another key observation, promoting workers and consumers' rights. It was observed that there is lack of advocacy for the exploration and promotion of litigation as a means to enforce workers and consumers' rights affected by the exposure and use of hazardous pesticides. There is a need to support legal initiatives that hold corporations accountable for the health and well-being of farm and factory workers, consumers, and communities.
Adding that the dossier is being put together to bring the necessary information needed for consumers and farmers, while urging consumers not to be ignorant of the health hazardness of pesticides.
The right to know, the right to choose. People should have a right to choose the type of chemicals they want to expose themselves to, their family to, their children to. And nobody should be allowed the right to deprive them of such necessary information so that they can actually make the right information. While we would not deny the fact that pesticides are important in agriculture, we must also not be ignorant to also know the health hazards that comes with them.
Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
The National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons has said that the usage grieving as a result of the drones in the airstrike in Kaduna State. Moving on in the news at about this time. The Chief Medical Director of Federal Medical Center has made the appeal for a larger workforce and special medical equipment to improve the quality of healthcare delivery in Nigeria. The CMD stated this when members of the Senate of the committee paid an oversight visit to the medical facility. Moving on in the news circle, the dilemma of pesticide. Let's quickly go on a break. News circle will be back. Back from that break, the National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons has said it rescued and received 21,181 victims of human trafficking in 20 years. The Director General of NAPTIP, Fatima Waziri Aziz, said this when she appeared before the Senate Committee on Special Duties for the Defense of the 2024 budget. She said the agency would try to support victims as long as they needed to be supported, noting that the process required time and a lot of money. She explained that NAPTIP provided legal, medical support, rehabilitation, and reintegration support to victims. Moving on now, EU leaders have said they had pressed China's leadership on a yearning trade imbalance, as well as expressed concern over Beijing's pressure on Taiwan and support for isolated Russia at their first in-person summit in over 4 years. Underlining Beijing's challenges in getting Europe on-side, news broke on the eve of the summit that Italy, the bloc's third largest economy, had withdrawn from its vast Belt and Road Infrastructure Initiative. Von der Leyen said she had managed to secure agreement from President Xi Jinping on the need for narrowing of the trade gap between the bloc and its largest economic partner, Mercosur. In turn, said the two powers had a shared interest in a stable, constructive relationship. The EU said in the run-up to Thursday's meeting that they were keen to work with Beijing on areas in which they agreed. And they said Thursday they had discussed areas where the bloc could work with Beijing, most notably on artificial intelligence and climate change. Over now to business, African Development Bank Group President Akinwumi Adesina has warned that a new EU carbon border tax could significantly constrain Africa's trade and industrialization progress by penalizing value-added exports, including steel, cement, iron, aluminium, and fertilizers. While addressing delegates at the Sustainable Trade African Conference held at the UAE Trade Center in Dubai, Adesina said with Africa's energy deficit and reliance mainly on fossil fuel, especially diesel, the implication is that Africa will be forced to export raw commodities again into Europe, which will further cause the disindustrialization of Africa. Africa could lose up to $225 billion per annum as a direct result of the EU carbon border tax adjustment mechanization. And with that, we'll end the news circle on Global Television. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for being there. Good afternoon.